Frank carried a $9 used persimmon driver onto Mat 7 Friday with a black and white lesson photograph folded inside the head cover. The golfer in the picture wore a tie, lifted a heel, and finished with the buckle facing the target. Frank asked which old move could give him modern distance without making him swing like a museum display. Golfers before 1970 didn't all learn one swing, and champions such as Byron Nelson, Ben Hogan, Jack Nicklaus, Gary Player, and Lee Trevino moved differently. The useful history is not a costume. It is a set of durable ideas about grip, aim, rhythm, connection, balance, and finishing through the shot. Today's clubs change the delivery, but they don't remove the need for a repeatable strike. I'm testing 7 old-school distance ideas with a modern 7-iron and driver. The strongest one is last because it joins the earlier pieces without asking for a bigger turn. Don't skip there. Copying a champion's visible move without the rest of the pattern can cost more contact than it creates speed. Let me say one thing, then I'll leave it be. Everything I teach on Mat 7 is in the 60-plus distance manual. The setup changes, the equipment checklist, the 6-week range plan. Scan the QR on your screen right now, or it's down in the description. If you want it, it's there. Now let's get back to it. Use one filter on every old lesson. Safe, simple, repeatable. Swing your age, not your ego. I'm Ray Hutchins. I grew up around persimmons, steel shafts, shag bags, and teachers who could fix a setup with one sentence. I owned the Ocala range for 34 years. I'm not a historian, doctor, or physical therapist. If a movement hurts, stop and see your doctor. Check with your doctor before you start anything new. The enemy is nostalgia with the context removed. A photograph freezes one instant. It doesn't show the club design, ball, lie, target, or movement that came before and after. We're using records from the PGA, PGA Tour, and USGA as history, then testing simple versions. 7 ideas, each with a range proof and an honest limit. Move 7 is a grip that lets the club return without a fight. At 8:10, Frank placed the handle through the fingers rather than burying it in the palms. Join the hands comfortably and check that the face stayed square to the target before moving. He didn't copy the exact hand rotation of a champion. He built a secure, neutral starting point. Old instruction often spent pages on the grip because it is the body's connection with the club. Modern PGA guidance still treats grip and setup as fundamentals. Make 5 waist-high swings with a 7-iron and note start line. Change nothing if your current hold is secure, comfortable, and produces the pattern you want. Where it costs you is forcing a textbook hand position onto stiff, painful, or differently shaped hands. A stronger or weaker appearance isn't automatically good or bad. A $9 used driver doesn't become fitted because the grip looks historic. Ask a qualified coach in a repair shop to separate technique from grip size and condition. Move 6 is aiming the face before the body. That order appears plain because it is plain. Good distance, pointed the wrong way, is still a difficult next shot. Use 2 clubs on the ground, outside the hitting area, 1 for the target line and 1 for the feet. Hit 3, step away, and rebuild. The old teachers understood that an aim error invites a compensation during the swing. A body aimed left may cut across. A body aimed right may ask the hands to rescue the face. Where it costs you is turning alignment sticks into rails that freeze the motion. They are references, not a path the club must trace. Keep them away from the ball and never point a raised stick where it can cause injury. 2 clubs cost $0. A pair of alignment rods was under $20 during the first week of August. But money doesn't make the line safer. Move 5 is Byron Nelson's one-piece start. Nelson changed his action after moving from hickory to steel around 1930. PGA Tour's history says his hands, arms, and shoulders moved back together so the club stayed lower and straighter early instead of fanning open. The equipment change helped create a different, useful motion. Try the idea with a short iron. Move the handle, arms, and chest together for the first foot, then allow the wrists and turn to continue naturally. Hit 5 at comfortable effort. The check is a calm start and centered contact, not an imitation of Nelson's backswing position. Where it costs you is making the first foot a rigid block. Nelson's complete swing matched his body and steel shafts. Pinning the arms or holding the wrists can remove flow and move the strike. The history explains a principle, not a universal prescription. If contact worsens, return to your normal start and take the question to a coach. Give the start a transfer test. Hit 3 balls with the 7-iron, put the club down, walk to a different target, and hit 3 more. A takeaway that works only while you stare at one alignment rod hasn't become part of the swing. Then try 1 fairway wood at comfortable effort. If the longer club makes the hands race again, shorten the rehearsal and keep the same calm first foot. The purpose is organization across clubs, not a perfect straight line traced on the ground. Move 4 is rhythm that belongs to the golfer. At 9:30, say a simple phrase during rehearsal, easy back and through. PGA instruction on tempo explains that swing tempo and swing speed aren't the same thing. Golfers can move at different overall rates and still organize the backswing and downswing. Old broadcasts made smooth players look slow because film and style hid the speed near impact. Don't chase a lazy motion. Hit 3 at your normal rhythm, 3 with a calmer start, and 3 only slightly quicker while finishing in balance. Keep the pattern that gives center contact and useful flight. Where it costs you is adopting somebody else's count. A short backswing may need a different rate from a long one. A phrase can also become a mechanical command that makes you steer. This drill costs 1 small bucket, about $12 at the Ocala range during the first week of August. Stop before fatigue rewrites the tempo. You're still here. Good. Some folks left to buy a persimmon driver when the lesson was about movement, not wood. The next idea gets misquoted as keeping the head down, and that version can trap the finish. Move 3 is Jack Nicklaus's steady center, not a frozen head. PGA's current collection of timeless championship tips describes his emphasis on a steady head for balance, rhythm, and timing. The useful word is steady. Your body still turns and the head can respond. You are avoiding a lunge that moves the bottom of the swing unpredictably. Make 3 rehearsals beside a doorway only if there is full safe clearance and no club in your hands. Let the side of the head lightly reference the frame while the chest turns. Then step away and hit 5 half shots. Better yet, have a coach watch from a safe angle. A wall is a reference, not something to push against. Where it costs you is freezing the neck or keeping the eyes down after the ball is left. That can restrict the turn and finish, and it may be inappropriate for your body. I'm not giving medical advice. Use comfortable motion only. The goal is a stable center through contact, followed by a free, balanced finish. A safer range check uses your hat brim rather than a wall. Ask a coach or friend to stand outside the swing area and watch whether the brim dives toward the ball or lunges toward the target before contact. They don't need to diagnose the spine. They only report what the head did. Pair that report with face contact. A quieter picture without better contact isn't automatically progress, and a small, natural response doesn't need to be corrected because an old photograph looks still. Move 2 is Ben Hogan's connection between arms and body. PGA's historical teaching summary describes old drills linked to Hogan that kept the arms from running away while the lower body supported the change of direction. Connection doesn't mean squeezing the elbows to the ribs through a full driver swing. Use a small towel lightly under the upper arms for waist-high wedge swings, then remove it. Hit 3 with the feel and 3 without. The towel should fall naturally as the motion grows. You are checking whether the chest and arms cooperate, not tying the body into a package. Where it costs you is using belts, straps, or tight restraints without supervision. A historical drill can become unsafe when copied literally or swung at speed. Hogan's own clubs and swing were highly individual, built around his fight with a hook. A $6 towel is enough for a gentle short rehearsal, and zero equipment is better when the feel restricts you. Connection should survive after the towel leaves. Hit 1 waist-high shot with it, place it safely behind you, then hit 2 without it. If the arms immediately run away, return to a smaller motion instead of squeezing harder. The test is whether chest and arms keep cooperating while the body can turn freely. When the towel stays under the arms through a forced full finish, the drill has taken control of the swing and stopped serving it. I know some of y'all wanted a lifted lead heel at number 1. Hear me out before you scroll. The strongest old move is Gary Player's commitment through the finish. PGA's timeless tips connect his teaching with moving pressure toward the target and avoiding a hangback. The step-through is a drill for sequence and balance, not a demand to walk after every shot. At 11:15, Frank made slow rehearsals with feet together, stepped the lead foot toward the target as the club changed direction, and finished facing the shot. Then, he returned to a normal stance and hit 5-7 irons. The useful result was pressure moving forward and a finish he could hold, not a theatrical step. Where it costs you is balance and physical demand. A step drill can be wrong for a golfer with stability, foot, knee, hip, or other concerns. Use it only with medical clearance and a qualified coach when appropriate. If the drill feels uncertain, skip it. A balanced normal finish can teach the same intention without a moving foot. Use the no-step version when in doubt. Start with a narrow, comfortable stance. Make a short backswing and let pressure finish on the lead side while the trail heel responds naturally. Hold the finish beside a stable support that is outside the club path, never by grabbing during the swing. If balance is uncertain, stop the drill. The old lesson is forward intention. It doesn't require a dramatic walk toward the target or an unstable pose for the camera. The number one principle underneath the drill is finishing the swing you can safely own. Let the motion go through the ball, allow the chest and belt to turn toward the target, and hold the finish without strain. Distance doesn't come from posing. The pose simply reveals whether effort carried you past balance. Put all 7 ideas into a 7-ball history card. 1 ball with your normal grip check, 1 with face-first alignment, 1 with the connected start, 1 with rhythm, 1 with steady center, 1 with arm and body cooperation, and 1 with the balanced finish. Then hit 3 balls using only the single idea that improved the complete pattern. Don't stack all 7 on one swing. That recreates the old instruction book in your head. History is a menu of questions. Which setup gives the face a chance? Which start organizes the club? Which rhythm centers contact? Which finish survives effort? Keep one answer at a time and let a coach remove the rest. Modern equipment matters. Nelson changed because steel behaved differently from hickory. Hogan's personal clubs were built to suit his hook, avoiding action, and PGA Tour players found them very different from current clubs. Use the old movement idea with the club you actually play. Don't assume a persimmon driver teaches virtue or a modern head removes technique. A camera can help only when it answers a narrow question. Record from a safe, fixed position with nobody downrange or behind the strike area. Check whether aim, balance, or finish repeated. Don't compare body angles with a champion whose picture came from a different lens, club, and moment. The ball pattern remains the main record. Do 3 things this weekend. Bring 1 towel and 2 alignment clubs for $0 extra. Test only 2 historical ideas in groups of 5, keeping the bucket near $12. Then play 9 holes with the 1 cue that improved contact, start line, and balance without discomfort. Leave the other 6 at the range. Pick the old move you still trust and tell me how you test it. Then, correct me. I left Sam Snead's famous rhythm and leg action out as a named block, and that omission will bother some historians. Give me the modern range result, not only a photograph or quotation. Next time, I'll sort 8 current drivers whose prices fell and show why the cheapest senior flex label can still be the costly choice. Subscribe if you want the sale checked against the strike map. Swing your age, not your ego. Keep it smooth, folks. I'll see you on Mat 7.